All right,
Welcome
so today
to
we're
Concord
diving into
Marine
some pretty
Electronics.
cool tech.
Today, we're
Starlink
diving into
Maritime.
how Starlink Maritime
You know,
is
Imagine
revolutionizing
this.
marine satellite
You're
internet,
out on the
providing
ocean, like
high-speed,
miles from
reliable
shore,
connectivity at
and
sea.
you can still do all the things you do
Starlink
online,
Maritime
like
utilizes
send
a constellation of
emails
low
or
Earth
watch
orbit
videos
LEO
or even work
satellites to
remotely.
deliver
Yeah,
fast,
it's pretty wild.
It sounds kind of like
internet to
science
vessels
fiction, right?
around
It
the
really
world.
does.
But it's not.
Unlike
It's
traditional
Starlink
satellite
Maritime.
systems,
And
which
we're going
often
to really
struggle
break
with high
down how it
latency
all
and
works.
inconsistent speeds,
Our main source for
Starlink's
this
LEO
deep dive
satellites
is
ensure
this
stable
article
and
from
faster
Concord Marine
connections,
Electronics.
making it a top
Okay.
choice
They
for
specialize
maritime
in marine
connectivity.
electronics, and they do
With
a
download
ton of
speeds
Starlink
ranging from 40
installations.
to
Gotcha. So they
220
definitely know what they're
Mbps,
talking about.
and
Exactly. So
uploads
let's see
from
what we can learn from
8 to
them.
25
Sounds good.
Mbps.
Okay, so first
Starlink
things
Maritime
first.
supports streaming,
What exactly
video
is
calls,
Starlink
and real-time data
Maritime,
access.
and how is it different
Starlink
from,
satellite network
regular
offers internet
old
access
satellite
across
internet?
oceans
Well, the
and
really
remote
interesting thing
waters,
about Starlink
providing reliable
Maritime is that it's not
connectivity
just
where
a
traditional systems
like
fall
a
short.
small improvement. It's like a
Built to
total
endure
change
harsh
in how
maritime
we think about
conditions,
internet on
this
the
durable
ocean.
antenna ensures
For a long time, the
consistent
main option
connectivity,
was
even in challenging
VIAT.
environments.
Very
Starting
small
at
aperture terminal.
$250
These
per month,
systems
Starlink
use
offers
big
plans tailored to
satellites
different
that are
needs,
way out
making
there
it
in
an affordable
geostationary
option
orbit,
for maritime internet.
like 22,000 miles above
Compared to
Earth.
traditional
Wow,
systems like
22,000
VSAT,
miles. That's like
Starlink is
Yeah,
a more
it's a long
cost-effective
way.
and
It's a long way
high-performance
for a
solution.
signal to go back and forth.
Its
Exactly.
flat
And that
antenna design
distance
improves
causes all sorts of
connectivity,
problems,
making it
like
the go-to
slower
choice for modern
speeds.
vessels
Oh, I
seeking
bet.
a
Higher
seamless internet
latency,
experience.
like that annoying delay.
Installing Starlink
Yeah.
Maritime
You try to load a
involves
web
setting up the
page or do a
modem and
video call.
antenna.
I know exactly what you mean.
At
It's like you
Concord
click
Marine
something and then you
Electronics in
wait.
Fort Lauderdale,
Exactly.
we
And wait.
specialize
And nothing
in Starlink
happens.
installations.
So how does
earning
Starlink
over
fix this?
155
Well, it's totally
five-star
different. They don't
reviews
use
for our
those far out
expertise.
geostationary
Enhance your
satellites.
connectivity
Okay.
with accessories
launched
like the MDS
thousands of
which
smaller
combines
satellites.
multiple internet
Thousands.
sources
Yeah,
for
thousands
optimal
into
performance.
low Earth orbit or
With
LEO.
the increasing need
And these
for
satellites are
secure
way
internet
closer to
access at
Earth,
sea,
only like
Starlink
340
Maritime
miles up.
incorporates advanced
Oh, wow.
cybersecurity
So closer
measures
satellites
to safeguard
equal
your data
a faster,
and
more reliable
communications.
connection.
Exactly. And the
Starlink
article
service
gives some
plans
pretty
start at just
impressive numbers, like download
$250
speeds
per
up to
month,
220
with
mil
additional
apiece,
hardware costs.
Wow.
plus much lower latency.
For personalized
basically it's like
pricing
having
and
home internet
configuration
speeds on a
options,
boat.
Consulting an
much.
authorized installer
And that
like
can be a
Concord
game
Marine
changer.
Electronics
Absolutely.
is highly recommended.
Especially if you're working remotely from your
Starlink
boat.
Maritime is
Yeah,
transforming
or even
marine
just trying to
internet,
stay connected
offering
with family.
high-speed,
Oh, yeah, totally.
cost-effective,
Or
and
imagine
reliable
scientists
connectivity.
out doing research.
For professional
Right. They could send
installation
data back
and
in real
expert
time.
advice,
That's incredible.
contact Concord Marine
And the article also
Electronics
mentions
today.
global coverage, which
For
is
more
pretty
information,
amazing.
visit
Yeah.
our blog
I mean,
or
think
get in
about
touch
it.
directly
You
to
could be in the
explore
middle of the
installation
Pacific Ocean and
options.
still have internet access.
Stay connected wherever
Yeah,
your
it
journey
opens up
takes
so
you.
many possibilities.
Yeah,
Welcome
it's
to
pretty
Concord
mind-blowing.
Marine
And it's not
Electronics.
just speed and coverage.
Today, we're
The
diving
article
into how
talks about how
Starlink
Starlink
is
Maritime is
revolutionizing marine
built
satellite
tough
internet,
to survive
providing
out on the
high-speed,
ocean.
reliable
Oh, yeah, for
connectivity
sure.
at
The
sea.
antenna, it's flat
Starlink
and
Maritime
super durable.
utilizes a
Yeah, it can handle
constellation of
strong
low Earth
winds and
orbit
rough seas.
LEO
Makes
satellites
sense.
to
You
deliver
wouldn't want
fast,
some flimsy thing up
low-latency
there.
internet to
No
vessels
way.
around the
Especially
world.
compared to those old
Unlike
VSAT
traditional
antennas.
satellite
Right, those big
systems,
dish-shaped
which often
things.
Which we're
struggle
always
with high
having
latency
problems
and
in bad
inconsistent
weather.
speeds,
Exactly.
Starlink's LEO
Starlink's
satellites
antenna
ensure
is a
stable
huge
and faster
improvement.
connections,
Yeah, it seems like they've
making it
really
a top
put a lot
choice
of
for
thought into
maritime
making this
connectivity.
practical for boaters.
With download
The article
speeds
also
ranging
mentions
from
they
40
have
to 220
different
plus
service
Mbps
plans.
and uploads
Oh,
from
yeah.
8
So
to
it sounds like
25
they're
plus
trying to
Mbps.
cater to
Starlink
different types
Maritime
of
supports
users.
streaming,
Yeah, they have
video
a range
calls,
of
and
plans
real-time
to
data
fit
access.
different needs and budgets.
Starlink
Okay,
satellite
cool.
Like
network
you could get a
offers
basic
internet
plan
access across
just for
oceans
checking
and
email
remote
and
waters,
browsing.
providing
Right.
reliable
Or
connectivity
a high
where
bandwidth plan
traditional
if you're doing a lot of
systems fall
streaming
short.
or video calls.
Built
So
to
you don't
endure
need to be a
harsh
millionaire
maritime
to afford
conditions,
this.
this
No, not
durable
at all.
antenna
Yeah.
ensures consistent
flexibility
connectivity
makes it a
even
lot
in
more
challenging
accessible.
environments.
That's great. It makes
Starting
sense
at
that they would offer
$250
options
per month,
for everyone.
Starlink
Yeah,
offers
definitely.
plans tailored to
So
different
we've talked
needs,
about the
making
speed
it
and
an
the coverage
affordable
and the
option for
durability,
maritime
but
internet.
what about the installation?
Compared to
Right,
traditional
like how do you
systems
actually
like
get this thing
VSAT,
on your boat?
Starlink is a more
Exactly.
cost-effective
Well, the article
and
stresses
high-performance
that professional
solution.
installation is really
Its flat
important.
antenna
Okay.
design
They
improves
specifically
connectivity,
recommend going
making
with
it
an
the go-to
authorized
choice for modern
installer
vessels seeking a
like
seamless
Concord
internet
Marine
experience.
Electronics.
I mean, they do have
Installing Starlink
over
Maritime involves setting up the
155
modem and
five-star
antenna.
Google reviews.
Yeah,
At
that's a
Concord
lot.
So they
Marine
must be doing
Electronics
something
in
right.
Fort
For
Lauderdale,
sure.
we
And this
specialize
isn't
in
really something
Starlink
you'd want to try
installations,
yourself.
earning earning over
Oh, definitely not too
155
much could
five-star
go
reviews
wrong.
for our expertise.
Right, you're dealing with some pretty complex tech.
Enhance your
Yeah.
connectivity
And
with
the
accessories
antenna
like
needs
the
to be
MDS
positioned
blender,
just
which
right
combines
for the
multiple
best
internet
signal.
sources for
That
optimal
makes sense.
performance.
So a professional can make sure
With the
everything is
increasing
set up
need for
correctly.
secure internet
Exactly.
access at sea,
And they can
Starlink
optimize it for
Maritime
your
incorporates
specific
advanced
boat.
And speaking of
cybersecurity measures to
optimization,
safeguard
the
your data and
article mentions this
communications.
thing called the MDS blender.
Starlink service
yeah,
plans
that's
start at
pretty
just
cool.
What's that all about?
$250 per month.
Well, basically,
with
it lets you
additional hardware
combine different
costs.
internet sources.
Okay.
For
So you could use
personalized
Starlink,
pricing
your
and
cellular
configuration
network,
options,
even
consulting an
shore-based
authorized
Wi-Fi if
installer
you're
like
close enough.
Concord Marine Electronics
So it's like
is
having a
highly
super
recommended.
reliable internet connection.
That sounds
Starlink
amazing.
Maritime is
Yeah.
transforming
So even if
marine
one
internet,
source goes
offering
down, you'll still
high-speed,
be online.
cost-effective,
Exactly.
and reliable
You're maximizing your
connectivity.
bandwidth and ensuring
For
you're always
professional
connected.
installation
Which would be
and expert
especially important
advice,
for people
contact
who
Concord
rely on
Marine
the internet for
Electronics
things
today.
like navigation.
Absolutely.
information,
Or communication,
visit our blog
or
or
even
get in touch
entertainment.
directly to
Yeah,
explore
I can see how that would be a
installation
game
options.
changer.
Imagine you're in
Stay
the middle of an
connected
important
wherever your
video
journey
call,
takes
Right.
you.
and suddenly your internet
Welcome to
drops.
Concord
The
Marine
MDS blender would
Electronics.
just seamlessly switch you over
Today,
to another
we're diving
source.
into
So
how
no more
Starlink
dropped
Maritime
calls or
is
interrupted
revolutionizing
meetings.
marine
Exactly.
satellite
It
internet,
just keeps you online
providing
without any
high-speed,
interruption.
reliable
That's
connectivity
awesome.
at sea.
But with all this talk about
Starlink
being
Maritime
constantly
utilizes
connected,
a
it makes me think about
constellation of low Earth
cybersecurity.
orbit
Right.
(LEO)
Is it safe to
satellites
be
deliver
that connected
fast,
out on the open
low-latency
ocean?
internet to
Exactly.
vessels
Is
around
that
the
something
world.
boaters should be worried about
Unlike
with
traditional
Starlink
satellite
Maritime?
systems, which
Yeah,
often
that's a
struggle
good
with
question.
high latency and
And it's something the
inconsistent
article
speeds,
does address.
Starlink's
Okay,
LEO
good.
satellites
The
ensure
good news
stable
is
and
Starlink
faster
Maritime has
connections,
some strong
making it a
security
top
measures
choice
built
for
in.
maritime
Okay, that's
connectivity.
reassuring.
They use
With
encryption
download
to protect
speeds
your
ranging
data.
from
Okay.
40 to 220
And they're always
plus
updating the
Mbps
system
and
to address
uploads
new
from 8 to
threats.
25
That's good.
plus Mbps.
But even with those
Starlink Maritime
measures,
supports
are there any
streaming,
cyber
video
threats that are
calls, and
specific
real-time
to being
data
out
access.
at sea?
Well, yeah.
Starlink's satellite network
There are a few
offers
things to
internet
keep in mind.
access across oceans
For example,
and remote
pirates or
waters,
other bad
providing
actors could
reliable
target boats
connectivity
that
where
have
traditional
valuable
systems
cargo
fall short.
or important information.
Built to
Oh,
endure
wow.
harsh
There's
maritime
also the risk of
conditions,
GPS
this durable
spoofing.
antenna ensures
What's that?
consistent connectivity
That's where
even in
attackers
challenging
can mess
environments.
with navigation systems.
Starting
Oh,
at
no.
They can, like,
$250 per
send
month,
ships off
Starlink
course
offers plans
or even
tailored
into
to different
dangerous
needs,
waters.
That's
making
scary.
it an affordable option
So it sounds
for
like
maritime internet.
cybersecurity at sea is
Compared to
something
traditional
boaters need to be
systems
aware
like
of.
VSAT,
Definitely.
Starlink
As maritime
is a more
connectivity gets
cost-effective and
more
high-performance
advanced,
solution.
the potential for
Its
attacks
flat
also
antenna
grows.
design
Okay.
improves connectivity,
So what can
making
boaters
it the go-to choice
do
for
to
modern
protect
vessels
themselves?
seeking a seamless internet
Well, first of all,
experience.
strong passwords and
Installing
multi-factor
Starlink Maritime
authentication are
involves setting
essential.
up the modem
Okay.
and
That
antenna.
goes for all your devices.
At
Got it.
Concord Marine Electronics
super
in
important
Fort
to keep all your
Lauderdale,
software
we
and
specialize
firmware
in
up to
Starlink
date.
installations.
Right, so you have the
earning
latest
over
security
155
patches.
five-star reviews
And
for our
just like
expertise.
on land, be careful about
Enhance your
suspicious
connectivity with
emails and
accessories like
links.
the MDS
Right, avoid those
blender,
phishing
which combines
scams.
multiple
Exactly.
internet
It's all about
sources
being
for optimal
proactive and staying
performance.
informed.
I think it's
With
easy
the
to get excited
increasing
about
need
new
for secure
technology.
internet
Yeah.
access
And
at sea,
forget about the
Starlink
security
Maritime
risks.
incorporates
Definitely.
advanced
Like
cybersecurity is
measures
everyone's
to safeguard your data
responsibility.
Absolutely, whether you're at
communications.
home or out on the ocean.
That's a good
Starlink
point.
service plans
Yeah.
start
Okay,
at
so
just
we've talked about the good
$250 per month,
But let's
with
be
additional
real.
hardware costs.
For a lot of people, the main concern
For
is going to be the
personalized
price
pricing
tag.
and configuration
Right, how much does all this
options,
fancy tech
consulting an
actually
authorized
cost?
installer
Exactly.
like Concord
Is this
Marine
something only
Electronics
rich
is
people
highly
can afford?
recommended.
Well, actually, the
Starlink
article makes it sound
Maritime
more
is
reasonable than you
transforming
might
marine
think.
internet,
Okay.
offering
Airtime
high-speed,
plans start at
cost-effective,
$250 a
and
month.
reliable
Okay.
connectivity.
Which is actually pretty
For
competitive
professional
with traditional
installation and expert
VSAT,
advice, contact
especially when you
Concord
consider
Marine
the faster
Electronics
speeds and
today.
better reliability you
For
get with
more
Starlink.
information,
That's
visit our
true.
blog or get in touch
$250 a month
directly to
isn't
explore
cheap.
installation
But for a
options.
service that gives you constant
Stay
high-speed
connected
internet,
wherever your
even in the
journey
middle
takes
of
you.
nowhere,
Right.
it might
Welcome
be worth
to
it.
Concord
Exactly.
Marine
Yeah.
Electronics.
Especially for people who
Today,
really
we're
depend
diving
on
into how
connectivity.
Starlink Maritime
Right, like if
is
you work remotely from your
revolutionizing marine
boat.
satellite
Exactly.
internet,
Yeah.
Or if you just
providing
like knowing
high-speed,
you can always get
reliable
online no matter
connectivity
where
at
you
sea.
are.
Yeah, that peace of
Starlink
mind is probably
Maritime
worth a lot.
utilizes a
Definitely.
constellation of low Earth orbit
And,
LEO
of course, there's also the
satellites to deliver
upfront cost
fast,
of the
low-latency
equipment.
Right, the
internet to
hardware,
vessels around
Which
the
can
world.
vary depending on what you need.
Unlike traditional
But the article
satellite
does
systems,
recommend
which often struggle with
contacting
high latency
authorized
and inconsistent
installers.
speeds,
Oh, yeah, like
Starlink's
Concord Marine
LEO
Electronics.
satellites ensure
To get a
stable and
customized
faster
price
connections,
Yeah,
making
they
it a
can
top
figure out
choice
what you
for
need.
maritime
Right, and give
connectivity.
you a price that fits
With
your
download
budget.
speeds
Exactly.
ranging
Yeah.
from
And they
40
can
to
walk you through the
220
whole
plus Mbps
installation process and
uploads
provide
from 8 to
support.
25
Sounds like a
plus
good starting
Mbps.
point for anyone
Starlink
who's
Maritime
serious
supports
about getting
streaming,
Starlink
video
Maritime.
calls,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
real-time data access.
And it's important to remember that this
Starlink
technology is
satellite
still
network
evolving.
offers internet access
So we're
across
probably going to
oceans and
see
remote waters,
even faster
providing
speeds and
reliable
lower latency in
connectivity
the
where
future
traditional
Oh,
systems
wow.
fall
as
short.
Starlink launches more
Built to
satellites
endure
and
harsh
improves their
maritime
service.
conditions,
So
this
what we're seeing
durable
now is
antenna
really
ensures
just the
consistent
beginning.
connectivity,
Yeah, it's
even
pretty
in
exciting.
challenging
It
environments.
is, and maybe a little daunting
Starting at
Yeah.
when you think about all the
$250 per month,
potential that
Starlink
this has
offers
to
plans
change
tailored to
things.
different
Oh, yeah,
needs,
for sure.
Like
making it an
maritime
affordable
commerce
option for
and
maritime
scientific
internet.
research and
Compared to
even just how
traditional
we spend
systems
our
like
leisure
VSAT,
time.
Starlink
Absolutely.
is a more cost-effective
It's going to be
and
interesting to see how it all
high-performance
plays
solution.
out.
It is. It
Its
really
flat
feels like
antenna
we're on the
design
edge of a
improves
new
connectivity,
era
making
for
it the go-to choice
connectivity
for
at
modern
sea.
vessels
I think so
seeking a
too.
seamless
Just imagine the
internet experience.
possibilities.
Installing
Like scientists
Starlink
being able to
Maritime
send
involves setting up the
real-time
modem
data
and
from the
antenna.
middle of the ocean
Yeah.
At
or
Concord Marine
commercial
Electronics
ships
in Fort
communicating
Lauderdale,
more
we
efficiently.
specialize in Starlink
And of course, for
installations,
us
earning
regular
over
folks,
155
Yeah.
it could totally
five-star reviews for our
transform how we
expertise.
travel and experience
Enhance
the
your
ocean.
connectivity
Totally.
with
Like I mentioned,
accessories
being
like
on a
the
cruise
MDS
and
Blender,
having
which
high-speed
combines
internet the whole
multiple
time.
internet
Oh,
sources
yeah.
for
Yeah.
optimal
You could work
performance.
remotely or stream
With the
movies
increasing
or
need
video
for
chat
secure
with your
internet
family.
access at sea,
Exactly.
Starlink Maritime
Or even explore
incorporates
some
advanced
far-off island.
cybersecurity
Right, and
measures
still
to
be connected
safeguard
to
your
the
data
world.
and
Yeah, it's pretty
communications.
amazing.
It is. It's like the internet is
Starlink
finally
service plans
catching
start
up
at just
with the vastness of the
$250 per
ocean.
month. with additional
that's a
hardware
good way to put it.
costs.
And if you want to learn more
For
about all this,
personalized
Yeah.
pricing
I definitely
and
recommend
configuration
checking out the
options,
Concord
consulting
Marine
an authorized
Electronics
installer like Concord
website
Marine
and
Electronics
blog.
is
Yeah,
highly
they have a
recommended.
ton of great information there.
They go into all the
Starlink
technical
Maritime is
details, the
transforming
different
marine
service
internet,
plans,
offering
and the different
high-speed,
ways people are using this
cost-effective, and
technology.
reliable
Yeah, it's a great
connectivity.
resource for anyone who wants
For
to explore the
professional
possibilities.
installation and
Awesome.
expert advice,
Well, there you have
contact
it.
Concord
Our
Marine
deep dive
Electronics
into
today.
Starlink Maritime.
For more information,
A technology
visit our blog
that's
or get
not
in touch
just
directly to
pushing
explore
the limits of
installation options.
connectivity, but also making us
connected wherever your
rethink our
journey takes
relationship
you.
with the ocean.
I agree.
Welcome to
It's a
Concord
game changer.
Marine
It is.
Electronics.
So next time
Today,
you're dreaming
we're
about
diving into how
escaping to
Starlink
some
Maritime
remote
is
island
revolutionizing
paradise,
marine satellite
Yeah.
internet,
remember that
providing
staying connected
high-speed,
might be
reliable
easier than you
connectivity
think.
at sea.
Exactly.
Starlink
Thanks for joining us.
Maritime
And until
utilizes a
next time,
constellation of low Earth
keep
orbit,
exploring.
LEO,
See ya.
satellites to
So let's
deliver
say someone's
fast,
listening and
low-latency
thinking,
internet to
all right, I
vessels
need
around
this.
the world.
How do I get Starlink
Unlike
Maritime on my
traditional satellite
boat?
systems,
Well, the
which
article
often
really
struggle with
emphasizes
high
that
latency
getting
and
a
inconsistent
pro to
speeds,
install it
Starlink's
is
LEO
key.
satellites ensure
makes
stable
sense.
and
For the
faster
best
connections,
performance.
Yeah.
making it a top choice
You know, they
for
specifically
maritime
recommend
connectivity.
authorized
With
installers
download
like
speeds
Concord
ranging
Marine
from 40
Electronics.
to 220
Well, yeah, with
plus
over
Mbps and
155
uploads from 8 to
five-star Google
25 plus
reviews.
Mbps,
Right.
They've got to be
Starlink
doing something
Maritime
right.
supports
Exactly.
streaming,
And this
video
isn't
calls,
something you want to be
and
messing around with
real-time data
yourself.
access.
No way. Too much could go
Starlink's
wrong.
satellite
Exactly.
network
Yeah.
offers
This is
internet
sophisticated
access
hardware
across
and
oceans
software.
and
Yeah.
remote waters,
And that
providing
antenna needs to be
reliable
perfectly
connectivity where
positioned.
traditional
Right, to
systems
get the
fall
best
short.
signal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a
Built to
professional will
endure
make sure
harsh
it's all set up
maritime
right.
And they
conditions,
can
this
fine-tune it
durable
for your
antenna
specific
ensures
boat.
consistent
Exactly.
connectivity,
Speaking of
even in
fine-tuning,
challenging
the article
environments.
mentions something called the
Starting
MDS
at
blender.
$250
Oh,
per month,
yeah.
Starlink offers plans
What is
tailored
that?
to different needs,
That's a cool
making
piece of
it an
tech.
affordable option for
It lets you
maritime
combine
internet.
multiple internet sources.
Compared to traditional systems
Like
like
what?
VSAT,
Well, you could use
Starlink is a
Starlink
more
in
cost-effective
your
and
cellular
high-performance
network.
solution.
Okay.
Even shore-based
Its flat
Wi-Fi if you're
antenna
close
design
enough.
So it's like
improves
having a
connectivity,
backup
making
internet.
it the go-to
It's
choice
even better
for
than that.
modern vessels
Okay, how
seeking
so?
a seamless
Because it
internet
actually
experience.
combines all the available sources.
Installing
Oh,
Starlink
wow.
Maritime
For maximum
involves setting up the
performance.
modem
So you're
and
always
antenna.
getting the best
At
possible
Concord Marine
connection.
Electronics
Exactly.
in Fort
That's pretty
Lauderdale,
amazing.
we specialize in Starlink
Especially for boaters
installations,
who rely
earning
on the
over
internet for
155 five-star
navigation.
reviews for our
Absolutely, or for
expertise.
communication, or even just
Enhance your
entertainment.
connectivity
Right.
with accessories
Imagine
like
you're
the
in the middle
MDS
of a
blender,
video
which
call,
combines multiple
and suddenly
internet
your internet
sources for
drops.
optimal
Oh,
performance.
that's the
With
worst.
The MDS
increasing
blender
need
would
for secure
seamlessly
internet
switch
access
you
at
over to a
sea,
different source.
Starlink
So you
Maritime
wouldn't even miss a
incorporates
beat.
advanced
Nope.
cybersecurity
You just
measures
stay
to
online
safeguard
without
your data
interruption.
and communications.
That's awesome. But all this
Starlink
connectivity makes
service
me think
plans
about
start at just
cybersecurity.
$250
Right, is it
per
safe to be
month,
so
with
connected out at
additional
sea?
hardware costs.
Exactly.
For
With all this
personalized
talk about being
pricing and
constantly
configuration
online,
options,
should boaters be
consulting an
worried about
authorized
security
installer
risks
like
with
Concord Marine
Starlink
Electronics
Maritime?
is highly
Well, it's a good
recommended.
question, and thankfully the
Starlink
article does
Maritime
touch
is
on that.
transforming
Good.
marine internet,
And the good news
offering
is
high-speed,
Starlink
cost-effective, and
Maritime
reliable
has some
connectivity.
robust security measures.
For professional
that's
installation and
They
expert
use
advice,
encryption to
contact
protect
Concord
data
Marine
transmission.
Electronics
Okay.
today.
And the system is
For more
regularly
information,
updated to
visit
address
our
any
blog or
emerging
get in touch
threats.
directly
That's
to
good to
explore
know.
installation
But are there any
options.
specific
Stay
cyber threats
connected
that
wherever
are
your journey
unique to the
takes you.
marine environment?
Welcome to
Well,
Concord Marine
yeah,
Electronics.
there's some things to consider.
Like what?
Today,
Well, pirates,
we're
for
diving
example,
into
or
how
other bad
Starlink
actors.
Maritime
Yeah.
is
You know,
revolutionizing
they could
marine
target
satellite
vessels that
internet,
have valuable
providing
cargo or
high-speed,
sensitive
reliable
information.
connectivity
Oh
at
wow, I
sea.
didn't even think about that.
And then there's
Starlink
the risk of
Maritime
GPS
utilizes a
spoofing.
constellation of low
GPS
Earth orbit
spoofing?
(LEO)
What's that?
satellites
Well, that's
to
where
deliver
attackers can
fast,
manipulate
low-latency
navigation
internet
systems.
to vessels around the world.
And potentially send
Unlike
ships off
traditional
course.
satellite systems,
Really?
which
Yeah,
often
or even
struggle
into
with high
dangerous
latency
waters.
and inconsistent
pretty
speeds,
scary.
Starlink's
So
LEO
cybersecurity
satellites
at sea
ensure
is
stable
something
and faster
that boaters
connections,
really need to
making
be
it a
aware
top
of.
choice for
Absolutely.
maritime connectivity.
And as maritime connectivity becomes
With
more
download speeds
sophisticated,
ranging
Yeah.
from
the
40
potential
to
attack
220
surface
plus
grows.
Mbps
Okay,
and
so
uploads
what
from
can
8 to
boaters
25
do to
plus
protect
Mbps.
themselves?
Starlink
Well, first and
Maritime
foremost,
supports streaming,
strong
video
passwords
calls,
and
real-time
multi-factor
data
authentication
access.
are crucial.
Okay.
For all
Starlink satellite
connected
network
devices.
offers
Makes
internet
sense.
access
And keeping
across oceans
software and
remote
firmware
waters,
up to date is
providing reliable
super important.
connectivity
Right,
where
to
traditional
patch those
systems fall short.
vulnerabilities.
Exactly.
Built to
And just
endure
like you would
harsh
on
maritime
land, be
conditions,
wary of
this
suspicious
durable antenna
emails and
ensures
links.
consistent
Right, those
connectivity
phishing
even in
scams.
challenging
Exactly.
environments.
It's all about being
Starting
proactive
at
and staying informed.
$250 per
Yeah,
month,
it's easy to get
Starlink
excited
offers
about new
plans tailored to
technology.
different needs,
It is.
And
making
forget
it an
about the
affordable
security
option
risks.
for maritime
Definitely.
internet.
But cybersecurity is really
Compared to
everyone's
traditional systems
responsibility.
like
It is,
VSAT,
whether you're at home
Starlink
or
is
out
a
on
more
the open ocean.
cost-effective and
True
high-performance
enough.
solution.
Okay, so we've talked about the
Its
good
flat
stuff,
antenna
but now
design
let's get down to
improves
brass
connectivity,
tacks.
making
The
it the
price.
go-to choice for modern
Yeah, for a lot of
vessels seeking
people,
a
the
seamless
biggest
internet
question is going to be
experience.
how much does this all
Installing
cost?
Starlink Maritime
Yeah, is
involves
this a
setting up
toy
the
for
modem
the
and
rich and
antenna.
famous?
Right.
At Concord
Can regular
Marine
people afford
Electronics
this
in Fort
technology?
Lauderdale,
Well, the
we
article
specialize
actually
in
makes it
Starlink
sound more
installations,
affordable than you
earning over
might think.
155
Oh, really?
five-star
Yeah, airtime
reviews for
plans
our
start at
expertise.
$250 a month,
Enhance your connectivity
which is competitive with
accessories
those
like the
traditional
MDS
VSAT
blender,
options,
which combines multiple
especially
internet
considering the
sources
higher
for optimal
speeds and
performance.
reliability you get with Starlink.
With the
That's a
increasing
good
need for
point.
secure internet
$250
access
a
at
month
sea,
isn't exactly
Starlink
cheap.
Maritime
No.
incorporates
But
advanced
for a service
cybersecurity
that gives you
measures to
constant
safeguard your data
high-speed
and
internet,
communications.
even when you're in the middle of nowhere,
Starlink
Right.
service plans
It
start
might
at
be
just
worth it.
Yeah, especially for people who
$250
rely
per
heavily on
month,
being
with additional
connected.
hardware
yeah, like if you work
costs.
remotely from your
For
boat.
personalized
Exactly. Or if you
pricing
just
and
value
configuration
having that
options,
peace of mind.
consulting an authorized installer
Knowing
like
you can
Concord
always
Marine
get
Electronics
online.
is
Exactly.
highly
No
No matter
recommended.
where you are.
That peace of
Starlink
mind can be
Maritime is
priceless.
transforming
really
marine
can.
internet.
And of course,
offering
there's
high-speed,
also the upfront
cost-effective,
cost
and
of the
reliable
hardware.
connectivity.
Right, the actual equipment.
Which
For
I imagine can
professional
vary quite a
installation
bit.
and expert
It does,
advice,
depending on your
contact
needs.
Concord Marine
But the
Electronics
article
today.
recommends contacting
For
authorized
more
installers.
information, visit
Like
our blog
Concord
or
Marine
get in touch directly
Electronics.
to
Yeah.
explore
To get
installation
a tailored
options.
price quote.
Makes sense.
Stay connected wherever your journey
so they can
takes
figure
you.
out what you need
Welcome to
Exactly.
Concord
and make
Marine
sure you get the right
Electronics.
equipment and the right plan for
Today,
your budget.
we're diving into how Starlink Maritime
And they can
is
help guide you through the
revolutionizing
whole
marine
installation
satellite
process.
internet, providing
So that's a good
high-speed,
starting point for
reliable
anyone who's
connectivity
seriously
at sea.
considering Starlink Maritime.
Starlink Maritime
Definitely.
utilizes
And it's also
a
worth remembering
constellation
that
of low Earth
this
orbit,
technology is still
LEO,
evolving.
satellites to deliver
So we're
fast,
likely to see
low
even
latency
faster
internet to vessels
speeds
around the
Wow.
world.
and lower latency in the
Unlike
future
traditional satellite systems,
as Starlink
which often
expands their
struggle with
satellite
high latency
constellation
and
and
inconsistent
refines their
speeds,
offerings.
Starlink's LEO
So what we're seeing now
satellites
is just
ensure
the tip
stable
of
and
the
faster
iceberg.
connections,
Yeah,
making it a
it's
top
pretty
choice
exciting
for
stuff.
It
maritime
really is. It's a
connectivity.
little bit daunting when you
With
think about
download
how much
speeds
this could
ranging
change
from 40
things.
to
Oh, yeah,
220
for
plus
sure.
Mbps
Like maritime
and uploads from
commerce,
8 to
Right.
25
scientific
plus
research,
Mbps.
and
Starlink
even just how
Maritime
we
supports
experience
streaming,
the ocean.
video calls,
Yeah,
and
it's going to be
real-time
interesting
data
to see how it all
access.
unfolds.
It is.
Starlink
It feels
satellite
like we're
network
on the
offers
verge
internet
of a
access
new
across oceans
era
and
for
remote waters,
connectivity at
providing
sea.
reliable
think so, too.
connectivity.
It's pretty
where
mind-blowing
traditional
when you think
systems
about
fall
it.
short.
It is.
It really does
Built
feel
to
like
endure
we're on the
harsh
cusp
maritime
of a new era
conditions,
for
this durable
connectivity at
antenna
sea.
ensures
Right.
consistent
Like, imagine the
connectivity
impact
even
on
in
scientific
challenging
research.
environments.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
Imagine
Starting
a
at
team of marine
$250 per month,
biologists
Starlink
being
offers
able to
plans tailored
send
to different
real-time
needs, making it
data
an affordable
from their
option for
research
maritime
vessel.
internet.
Right from the middle of the ocean.
Compared
Exactly.
to traditional
That
systems
could lead
like
to
VSAT,
so many amazing
Starlink
things,
is a
like
more
faster
cost-effective and
discoveries,
high-performance
better
solution.
collaboration between
Its flat antenna
scientists,
design
and just a
improves
deeper
connectivity,
understanding
making it
of
the
our
go-to
oceans.
choice for modern vessels
It's exciting
seeking a
to think
seamless
about.
It
internet
really is.
experience.
And it's not just research.
Installing
Think about commercial
Starlink
shipping.
Maritime
Oh, yeah,
involves
for sure.
setting up the modem
More
and
reliable
antenna.
communication could
At
mean
Concord Marine
more
Electronics in
efficient
Fort
logistics,
Lauderdale,
Right.
we
reduced
specialize
fuel
in Starlink
consumption,
installations,
maybe
earning
even
over
improved
155
safety.
Yeah,
five-star
because you could
reviews
have
for our expertise.
real-time monitoring of ships and
Enhance your
cargo.
connectivity with
Exactly.
accessories like
And of
the
course, we
MDS
can't forget
blender,
about the
which
impact
combines
on
multiple
leisure
internet
travel.
sources
Right, like
for
cruises.
optimal performance.
Yeah, high-speed internet could
With the
totally change the
increasing need
cruise
for
industry.
secure
Yeah.
internet access
Passengers
at
could
sea,
stay connected with
Starlink
work and
Maritime
family.
incorporates
Right, or they could
advanced
stream movies and
cybersecurity
shows the
measures
whole
to
time.
safeguard your
Exactly.
data and
It could even open up
communications.
new possibilities for remote
Starlink service
tourism.
plans start at just
Like how so?
$250
Well,
per
people
month,
could
with
explore some
additional
of the most
hardware
incredible
costs.
parts of the world.
Right, those
For
far-off
personalized pricing
destinations.
and
Exactly.
configuration
And they
options,
wouldn't have to sacrifice
consulting an
connectivity.
authorized installer like
It's amazing
Concord
to think
Marine
about
Electronics is
how
highly
this could
recommended.
change our whole relationship with
Starlink
the
Maritime is
I know,
transforming
right?
marine
For
internet,
centuries,
offering high-speed,
it's been seen as this
cost-effective, and
barrier.
reliable
Yeah, a
connectivity.
place that separates us.
For
But with
professional
constant, reliable
installation and
internet
expert
access.
advice,
It could become an
contact
extension of our
Concord
digital
Marine
lives.
Electronics today.
Exactly. A place where we
For
can
more
work,
information,
learn, and
visit our
connect.
blog
Just
or
as
get in
easily
touch
as we do
directly
on
to
land.
explore
It's really
installation
mind-blowing.
options.
It is. So if
Stay
you're
connected
interested in
wherever
learning
your
more
journey
about all
takes
this,
you.
Yeah.
the Concord
Welcome to
Marine
Concord Marine
Electronics
Electronics.
website and blog are
Today,
great
we're diving into
resources.
how
Oh, yeah,
Starlink
they have a ton of
Maritime is
information.
They dive
revolutionizing
into the
marine
technical
satellite
stuff,
internet,
the different
providing
service
high-speed,
plans, and all the
reliable
amazing
connectivity
ways
at
people are
sea.
already using this technology.
Starlink
It's definitely worth
Maritime
checking out.
utilizes a
Awesome.
constellation of
Well, that
low
wraps
Earth
up our
orbit,
depth
LEO,
dive into
satellites to deliver
Starlink
fast,
Maritime.
low-latency
Yeah.
internet to
It's a
vessels
technology
around the
that's not
world.
just pushing the limits of
Unlike
what's
traditional
possible.
satellite
Right.
systems,
It's making us
which often
rethink
struggle
our
with high
relationship with
latency
the
and
ocean.
inconsistent
It's a game
speeds,
changer for
Starlink's
sure.
It really
LEO
is.
satellites ensure stable
So the
and
next time you're
faster
dreaming about
connections,
escaping to
making it a
some
top
remote
choice for
island
maritime
paradise,
connectivity.
remember that staying staying
With download
connected might be
speeds ranging
easier
from
than
40
you
to
think.
220 plus
Exactly.
Mbps and
Thanks for
uploads
joining
from
us,
8 to
everyone.
25
And
plus
until next
Mbps,
time, keep
Starlink
exploring.